put some shit on Uncle Jimmy's name.
First of all, now what we're talking about is Chupacabras.
Okay.
Do you know what a Chupacabra is?
No.
Have you ever heard of a Chupacabra?
Everybody knows about that Chupacabra.
See, but young people don't believe in the Chupacabra.
Nobody believes in Bigfoot anymore either.
There you go. What do you think about Bigfoot?
I don't know Bigfoot's real for sure.
What's a Chupacabra, bro?
Motherfucker goes to them woods like a damn Bigfoot.
Never seen it, heard of it from my grandmother in Puerto Rico.
You ever heard of a Chupacabra?
I think so, but tell me again.
Chupacabra is like a little demonic creature that lives in like New Mexico or Texas, and it's the embodiment of evil. But a lot of people think it's a coyote with mange.
It's a hairless dog running around.
You ever seen one, man?
Crossing the road scared the shit out of me.
How big was it?
About 7 feet.
But that's actually a picture of a Chupacabra.
Okay, good luck with that, Uncle Jimmy.
Hold on, wait. That right there, that's a Chupacabra.
Which one?
That thing, well, not the dead goat.
Oh, okay, true.
That stuff out of a nightmare right there.
You think it's a demon, an experiment, or an alien?
Chupacabra came across that road.
Sing about the Chupacabra, y'all.
Right. That motherfucker was 7 feet tall. I was scared to death.
At the Chupacabra.
At the Chupacabra.
Got something to say, you wanted to play, then come running my way and ruin G status is dead. No, ready to go, about to go in, you already know. Got my instructions, now give me your audience, hand me your mic and I'm ready to blow. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 for everybody who encouraged me to go, get it. We finally did it, I ain't never turning back, shawty. I'm fully committed to my beliefs, I'm committed to the city. I'm about to give them what they want, what they need, what they ask for. Give them what they want, what they need, what they ask for.
And now, from a booby-trapped treehouse in an oak tree in the George Washington National Forest, it's the prize fighter of the puzzle, the chugger of Hugger Mugger, the Catch-22 comedian, and the host of JimSpiracy, Jimmy Dodds.
Knock, knock. Who's that? You know. It's the savoir-faire debonair himself, the Sahab, the Vato, or as some of y'all like to call me, the Uncle Jimmy. Hey, man, it's everybody's favorite uncle, Uncle Jimmy Dodds. Hey, I want to thank y'all for joining me here for another episode of JimSpiracy. I know, let me address something right now. I know some of y'all saying, well, he ain't my uncle. Let me tell y'all something, man. I'm going to tell y'all just like I told Emmanuel Acho. I am your uncle. I'm your uncle by way of Whitlock, whether you like it or not. Straight up, I told him that, man. And hey, man, about 5, 6, might have been maybe 8 minutes later, I found myself working with Whitlock again. So I'm going to tell you something, man. If I ever see Acho again, and I will see Acho, trust me, Acho, we will cross paths. And whenever I see this dude, man, believe me, trust and believe, I go up to him, man, I'm going to talk to him just like a natural man. I'm going to be like, yo, man, yo, fam. Hey, man, player to player, pimp to pimp, man. I'm sorry. Anyway, in other news, Brittney Griner pled guilty in Russia to having hashish oil in her possession, in her luggage. And I think that I just like to speak up for all Americans and say, well, no shit. Really? You know, wasted all our time. Now you want to sit up here and plead guilty? Hey, man, look, no disrespect to Brittney and her wife, but I could be wrong, man, but ain't Russia got a war going on? I mean, am I right? Russia does have a war going on. And Brittney is over here talking about, excuse me, Mr. Putin. Excuse me, Mr. Putin. Sorry to bother you, but could we get this moving on? Because my wife misses me. Brittney, you do know that you are not in America no more. You know, you talking to Putin. Putin don't care about you telling him that your wife misses you. Hey, man, Putin turned into Tony Montana. Putin look at you and be talking about, your wife, how you talking? How you talking? Excuse me. Move, mister. I have bombs to push. Move out of my way. And then to top this off, man, honestly, Brittney, I ain't got no respect, no disrespect to you, your camp, or whatever, man. I know y'all got things going on, but y'all do understand that Joe got a lot of things going on. Joe got a lot of things on his mind. Joe got other things he got to remember, like being the president of the United States, right? I don't mean no disrespect to you, Brittney, but I think you need to, one of the things that we as all Americans need to do is get our priorities in order. And with Brittney, that means you need to get in line, okay? We got other things we got to deal with. We got, let's see, what we got? A war, world peace, hunger, economy. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. In my book, personally, Brittney Griner is somewhere between global warming and monkeypox. If you don't get the hell out of here and quit bothering us with your crap. But anyway, I digress. Let me keep on moving. Speaking of Bigfoots, we have our guest tonight. We have our own mythical creature. We're going to be talking about the Chupacabra. And some of you are asking, why are you talking about Chupacabras? Well, the other day, take a look at this video. I didn't know why the hell is a coyote just chilling in my backyard. I ain't moving. I ain't messing with you. Go ahead. I ain't messing with you. Yo, man, y'all think I'm tripping, man? That is a coyote, yo. Look. Am I tripping? A dingo ate your babies. Am I tripping? There it is. I know. I was born in the 60s. We had to eat lead chips, but I'm not tripping. That was a damn coyote. Okay, and then to top it off, I told my producer about it, and he says, hey, you better keep an eye on that, because if it mates with an evil spirit, you'll have a Chupacabra on the loose. And thus, bam, voila, we got tonight's episode. All right, and therefore, that's why we have our guest tonight. We have Dr. Phylis Canion. She's a nutritionist. She's also one of the world's first, and in my opinion, she's the top dog, and she's the top Chupacabra specialist as far as I'm concerned right now, because she has a real freaking Chupacabra stuffed in her house. And when I saw that, I'm like, we got to have her. I need you guys to go to the poll, the Twitter poll. Take a look at what you see. The question is, are Chupacabras real or fake? And right about now, 37.5 of you say that they are totally real. Some people say they're completely fake. Some people say they're sick coyotes. And some people say, what the hell? Hurt. Nonetheless, we're going to get down to it. We're going to be back with Miss Chupacabra. Or, wait a minute, if you Google her, you can see her on YouTube, and she's really on YouTube as the Chupacabra lady. Miss Phylis Canion. I can't wait. You're going to enjoy it. Be right back. I'll holla.
The Chupacabra. For many, it's a punchline, a joke, about a mythical monster that never existed and certainly never harmed anyone. But for an increasing number of people in the Southwest, including tonight's JimSpiracy guest, the Chupacabra has become a terrible reality. Chupacabra literally means goat sucker in Spanish. The hairless dog-like creatures were first spotted in the 1990s in Puerto Rico. As the name suggests, Chupacabras attacked and killed goats. But unlike every other predatory mammal in the world, the chupacabras had no interest in eating the meat of their prey. As the name implies, they just sucked out the goat's blood. The sucking of blood, hematophagy, has only ever been associated with insects, leeches, and other small animals. The largest of the known bloodsuckers is the vampire bat, but the victim animals in these cases are far too large to have been taken down by a bat. Across the American Southwest, Mexico, and South America, hundreds of sightings and dead bloodless animal victims testify to the fact that something unusual is going on. The powers that be seem determined to keep the truth under wraps. But here at JimSpiracy, we'll continue to seek the answers about the legendary Chupacabra.
Yes. And now with tonight's featured guest, we have Dr. Phylis. She is so Grand Canyon. Ma'am, how are you?
I am awesome. How are you doing?
I'm good. Ma'am, thank you for joining us at JimSpiracy. My guests just keep on getting better and better. First of all, tell us a little bit about your background, first of all.
Well, I am a nutritionist. I studied orthomolecular medicine. I own some organic stores in Texas. I am passionate about helping people that are sick and are not getting any help. So, and I've been doing this, I got credentialed, I finished my residency in 2005. So I've been doing this for a long time. Love what I do, absolutely love it. So, of course, I see this animal and my question is, what is wrong with this thing? Because that's what I do with the people that I see.
This is first of all, let's tell the people you are from Texas.
I am absolutely from Texas. Yes, sir.
Okay. Lifelong Texian, I assume.
Yes. Born and bred. Yes,
now,
sir.
One question. Being from Texas, how long have you heard rumors of a chupacabra? Or the chupacabra?
What is interesting is when I first spotted this animal, I had no idea what it was. And when I mentioned it to some neighboring ranchers, they said to me, "Oh, that sounds like a chupacabra." Well, I had never heard the word ever. So I went and looked it up, and the pictures that I saw of it, I'm thinking, are these people crazy? Because this is not what it looks like. Well, maybe a little bit what it looks like. But we kept seeing it, and everybody kept telling me, this is a chupacabra. And I looked it up as a goat sucker. But what was interesting is if there were any of my chickens dead, they were right. The animal was still there. There was just no blood left in it. I would take a paper towel and...
I'm sorry. I think that was one of the interesting things about the story of when you were coming out. It wasn't like you were finding something eating your chickens. It wasn't like something that snatched it. It was like you said.
And it was a mystery. I have lived on a ranch all of my life. I have hunted all over the world. I'm not an expert on animals, but I do know animals very well. So when I see this animal, yeah, I was very perplexed. I've never seen an animal that was not sick that did not have hair. We see mangy coyotes, no hair on them at all, but they're sick. You can tell they're sick. This animal never appeared to be sick. He was bouncing along and seemed to be pretty happy-go-lucky. So it's like, wow, what do we have here?
One of the questions I wanted to ask you was you said you saw the original pictures that they showed of chupacabras. When they first, in Puerto Rico, when they first started showing these pictures of chupacabras in 1995. Well, they were walking on two legs and they kind of looked like a dinosaur, right? They were walking on two legs with kind of like a scale down their back. What happened there?
So that, and we never could figure that out. Now, mine and the ones that we've seen on my ranch absolutely have no hair, none at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see if there was a tuft of hair that was on their back, that perhaps that could have been exaggerated. Now, all of the pictures that I had seen of the chupacabra did show red eyes. Now, it's a fact that with humans, if we have blue eyes, as I do, and you'll remember when cameras came out years ago, they had red eye reduction, because anybody that took a picture with blue eyes, their eyes showed up red. Mine were horrible. So that the shows this, that the eyes are red, I can understand that, because when I actually got the animal, I was shocked at how blue the eyes were. When I took that to a veterinarian and asked him about it, he said in the beginning, this animal has wolf in it somewhere to have those blue of eyes. And the eyes are very, very blue, very different from a coyote.
I first of all, I don't. I've looked on YouTube, and they refer to you as the Chupacabra lady, and I've seen you on the History Channel, and I was actually watching the History Channel about the story of the Chupacabra, and there's this lady in Texas, and she's talking about this Chupacabra, and I go, "Hey, we have to get her," and I write down her name, and I'm like, "Her name is." It's you.
That's
it's
me.
You. And I've seen you on William Shatner. I've seen you on Netflix. I've seen you on an episode of Star Trek. You're really just blowing up. Seriously, one of the things that, and I'm going to try to hurry up and move this around, because you were looking for this animal and you had heard about it. And then it just, excuse me, let me stop. Let me stop for a second. How many of these things have we actually caught? Because I've seen you and you had a head. It was a head. And that was being looked at. There you go.
Yes.
On that History Channel, there was a father and son who caught one up under their porch. And you have one. How many do you know about?
Well, I can tell you, I have two at my home, and I have seen probably another 8. So, and I have people, and I laugh to myself when you say the Chupacabra lady. I still get mail addressed to me, Dr.Phylis Canion, Chupacabra lady, Cuero, Texas. And God love the postal system that they put that in my box. And it gets to me. So everybody calls me whenever they see anything, because they don't really know what it is. And they want to talk to me, and I take every call. I have people emailing me pictures all of the time. I have people emailing me questions, texting me, sending me pictures saying, what do you think it is? So, and I applaud those, because the DNA obviously says that it's something different. I do think they are out there. And what I've told people, don't just kill the animal. Let me know where it is. Let's see if we can track some pattern of where these things are moving through Texas and throughout the United States, because I've gotten pictures from all over the United States. And a lot of them do look like mine, I have to say. It's just what makes mine stand out is that I saved the body so that we could do DNA. And again, maybe that's just my background that kept me, and kept saying, if I ever get one, we're going to do DNA on it. And I was blessed that we've been able to do it.
That's not what happened, ma'am. That's not why yours stands out. Yours stands out because when you captured it, I watched you. I heard your story, and see, the whole time I was watching, this is a JimSpiracy here. I'm looking, and I'm like, let me see what the government's gonna do. Let me see what the government's gonna do with this. And if I'm not mistaken, the government tried to come in with some shenanigans and try to take your Chupacabra. Am I right, or what?
Absolutely, yes, sir. And they wanted it. They wanted.
Okay, why? Why? What's the deal there with the government and the Chupacabra? Why?
Well, and that's what I ask them. I'm like, why do y'all want it? We've already done DNA. We already have proof of what it is. I'm the only one that has one that has DNA on it. What else are you going to do with it? Well, we just want it. So several other people had contacted me and said, okay, I have one. And I called the Parks and Wildlife, and they said that they wanted it, so I gave it to them. They still haven't gotten them back. And I'm like, no, this animal is different. I want to find out what it is. I'm keeping it, and I keep it under heavy security still and under lock and key.
Just one thing, because there are people out here that do, I don't know the word, taxidermize, stuffing. I noticed, and I thought it was very interesting that you said with a normal, let's just say a coyote, in order to take the skin off of the coyote, it takes, I forgot what you said, the normal amount of time, but it seems like it took a lot more time for this. What was the deal with that?
Because when you taxidermy an animal, you take all of the hide off, you have to treat the hide, and then you get a mold that fits that animal, and you wet the hide and stretch it back over it. So the problem with this is, and that when you look at the picture of the head, that head of the Chupacabra is very broad from ear to ear. The problem is the snout was very short and it didn't fit the head size. So the taxidermist had to order a coyote mount and a wolf mount and cut it to piece it together to make it fit. So that's why it took 3 times longer and cost 4 times more than a coyote mount was, simply because they couldn't get a mold to fit the hide. The neck was longer, the front legs were longer, the tail is longer, it's got this hump in the back. Nothing really fit it. So it was definitely artwork for the taxidermist that did it, because it turned out, and that was my thing, I wanted to look like it looked every time I saw it on our ranch. I want the eyes to be the blue. I want that body to be the shape that it is. So he did exactly the way I saw it on the ranch.
Tell me this, how lucky were you to find one that got hit by a car and didn't have his head blown off?
I can tell you, everyone said to me, Dr. Canion, this animal was meant for you because of your passion and your research and trying to figure it out. In the beginning, I didn't think that, but now I think that's exactly correct. And it has been a very interesting road, and all of the people that I have met and us just trying to figure out what it is.
Okay. All right, now go with me for a minute here. I got a couple more minutes with you. You're in Texas.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I don't know my geography too well, but Texas is close to Mexico, right?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Mexico's close to Area 51.
Yes,
kind of close there, somewhere in there. Has anybody ever said this could possibly have some government? Is this a government test gone awry, snuck out, got loose?
A lot of people, we have said that. I have tried to have it tested to see if this is anything unusual in the DNA that can indicate that. And we've not come across that. One of the series that I did, we set a drone up that covered an enormous area around our ranch to see if anybody was dog farming, breeding weird things together and ending up with this. It didn't indicate that that was happening, but that's not to say that could be something that happened. But what rules that theory out is that we've seen them all over the United States. And basically, they look pretty much like mine look. But there seems to be a pattern of how they can come up from Mexico and kind of move around, through northern Texas and Kansas and New Mexico, kind of moving in that direction. So I don't know. The mystery is still there.
Listen, I'm so glad to hear you say that. Because I swear I have a little cousin who swears he saw a chupacabra in his backyard. He lives in a big open field. I believe his neighbor, a couple of houses up. I mean, to them, just the chickens were dead. But he literally, honest to goodness, he said that. And so just to hear you say that it's in Kansas, it amazes me. Have they been found anywhere else in the world, or is it just in America?
I've done a documentary with about 14 foreign film crews from all over the world, and they have a tremendous interest in the chupacabra, which amazes me, but they have no sightings of them. They all seem to be more in our area and that area that I just described.
Okay, let me ask you a question here, because we're talking about the chupacabra, and it says that we call it the goat sucker, and it sucks the blood from animals. Well, remember a few years ago, we heard about aliens, and they were sucking the blood from animals. Well, my question for you is, has the aliens been getting a bum rap because maybe the chupacabras are doing it? Or what do you think about that?
Well,
or are they both a couple of bloodsuckers?
I went to Area 51 to just look at it because several people had said something about aliens. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go look. I'm going to go to the museums. I'm going to see what all they have. I would not rule anything out. I can just tell you, this day and age, I wouldn't rule it out. We did find dens where these animals appear to live. I saw
in Area
one
51?
In our area.
You found dens in Area 51?
No, in Texas, but not there. Okay. I have seen them again on our ranch as soon as about 3 months ago. That's unusual. But I wouldn't rule anything out. I really wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I know this animal is different. It does not match any DNA that is anywhere where we've had it tested now at about 9 different universities. BBC had it, the DNA done. We've had it done in Italy. So we've had it done a lot of places around the world, and it all comes back identical. It is Mexican wolf on the paternal side and coyote on the paternal side. But we can't figure out these two animals don't mate. So that's why we sent drones up thinking somebody maybe was dog farming. And when that came up negative, then we're back to the drawing board. Really, what is this animal? It had no mange on it. The animal was not sick in any way at all and never acted sick all of the times that I saw it before it got hit by a car.
What is the mythical mystery? I mean, because I've heard the chupacabra referred to as the Mexican Sasquatch. I mean, it seems to me like you've literally put this thing, nobody has a stuffed Sasquatch that can say, here it is right here. I mean,
and that's why I was so happy when I found the animal. I had a farmer, a rancher near me, call me that morning and say, oh my gosh, Dr. Ken, you're not going to believe it, but that animal you've been asking everybody about, it's laying in front of your ranch on the highway. Well, I was shocked. So of course I went up and I got on my tractor and I went and loaded it up and brought it back. And I'm like, well, this is it. But what is it? So the mystery is really phenomenal. I'm blessed that we have one and we've been able to do so much research on it, trying to really figure out what it is. Sasquatch, do we have DNA on it? No. We have potential sightings, but nothing is like having the real thing sitting in your living room. And that's what I have.
I've got like just a couple more questions for you, and then I'm going to let
Yes,
you go
sir.
because I
No
know
problem.
that I appreciate you.
Thank you.
The mayor in Mexico, at some point or another, decided that he wanted to get political with this and decided he wanted to offer a $10,000 reward for anybody that could catch one. Do you know about that?
I have had several people contact me and offered me $10,000 to come to our ranch and shoot one. And I obviously declined that. Number one, it's not about the money. I'm trying to do research and I don't want to kill the animal. We can study it better when we see it in the field. And that's what I like. Every time I see it, we document it. What's really interesting, every time I see that animal, including when I first got it, it always seems to be around a weather phenomenon. Not just in Texas, but around the world. We can have earthquakes somewhere around the world, and it seems like we have more sightings. We can have flooding. We see more sightings. We have floodings in Texas, and we definitely see more. That's when we realize then that they live in the den. So there's so much of a mystery still around it, and that's why I love it. If anybody calls me, I ask so many questions because anything, any input that we can get back, I welcome it. What it is, I don't know. But now we think we do have the DNA of what a chupacabra is.
One more question. You're from Texas. Don't take this the wrong way, but is the chupacabra edible? Has anybody tried eating one yet?
I haven't, but Jay Leno said he was wondering if I kept it in my refrigerator, that he sure would hate to get to my house and have chupacabra burgers. So we have not eaten it.
Because I'm telling you right now, we as Americans, I'm going to tell you right now, just give us some time. I know my people. Give us some time, and we will have chupacabras floating in gravy. Do you understand me? Tell me one more thing. Tell me this. What about this Amarillo incident? What's going on with? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
I have, and everybody was contacting me, going, "Oh my God, Dr. Canion, what do you think?" And I'm like, I think that was kind of a hoax. Just looking at it,
they could have called me. I could have told them what it was, doctor. You could have called me. Doctor, that ain't no damn chupacabra. You know that ain't a chupacabra? It got a head full of hair.
Yeah, that's when I look at it and I saw the pictures. I'm like, that's not what mine looked like. And I have DNA on mine. So
I would have threw a chicken to him and told him to suck it.
I love that. That is great. That would be a good one.
Listen, one more thing, because we've heard this chupacabra compared to a lot of things. We've heard it compared to coyotes, wolves, and we've heard it, in the Texas area. I was in Dallas last year, and I had heard about people trying to breed these, but I was in Dallas, and I was attacked by a group of cougars. I was at a club called Billy Bob's, and I feared for my safety. I want to tell you, Texas is a very rough state.
We're pretty rough. This is a rough state. I agree with you.
Listen,
never know what you're going to get in Texas.
Right. Doctor, listen, thank you so much for coming on my show. Thank you for coming on here talking, because, we call it a JimSpiracy. We say that it's a joke, it's a conspiracy, but you literally put that Chupacabra theory to rest. And I just thank you so much for doing it. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for your work. And by the way, I love what you told the government. Hey, I can test this thing better than you and cheaper than you. So why do you want it? I'm telling you, Dr. Canion, you are a real American badass, and thank you for your service and everything that you do.
Well, thank you for having me on. It's great to be able to share the story, and if we can bring more interest, then that's what it's all about.
Listen, let me just say this before you go. If who is it? If Jay Leno gets Chupacabra steaks, Uncle Jimmy wants some Chupacabra pork chops, okay? Let's just put it out there, okay? Please.
I'm going to make that happen.
Hey, thank you so much, ma'am. We appreciate you. God bless you, and we'll see you again.
Thank you, dear. Have a great day.
Hey, we're going to be right back with some more insane headlines and with a segment that I like to call, I Told You So. Now, check this out. There was these massive stones, okay, these great big rocks, and they had the rules for the New World Order. It's kind of like, to me, I call them the 10 Commandments of the New World Order. And I think these things were, I don't want to say, but I think it was in Georgia. I don't know where this was. But I called them the Commandments for the New World Order. One of the things that was included on this was something that said that the world's population must be kept below 500 million. Now, I thought that was very interesting that this thing was built sometime back in 1980, and nobody knows who built it. But anyway, in case you don't know, you saw that. Did you hear what happened to it? Did you see what happened to it? Well, let's take a look at what happened to it. Bottom line is, something happened to it. Somebody blew it up. Something happened, and bam! That's what's left of it. That's what's left of it. Look kind of like the George Floyd Memorial. Huh? Look kind of like the Pentagon when it got blown up. And, by the way, to whoever it may concern, to whoever that is in the black sedan with tinted windows, I got 3 words for you. Fella, you about to be in trouble, trouble, trouble. When the Illuminati catch up with you, you gonna have a problem. Now, on a for real tip, now that got blown up. But what I think is very interesting, y'all know I was in law enforcement, right? If that structure is blown up and we know that it's an explosion, guess what? It should be yellow tape around that. And that should be considered a crime scene, right? The next day, they was tearing it down. The next day, yeah, that was in Georgia. That's right. They're tearing it down. Huh? Why would you do that? Y'all could be getting rid of evidence. Y'all kind of doing that like y'all did the evidence in 911. Remember the pictures of the dump trucks going away carrying debris? Still smoldering with lava? But anyway, I digress, The Lord does work in mysterious ways, don't he? My grandmama always told me God don't like ugly, and he ain't too fond of pretty. In other news around the world, some of you know, just this July 5th over in Switzerland, they kicked the CERN nuclear collider. Okay, they kicked it into full gear, and some of you people were really up in arms about it because they fired this up for the 3rd time and put it into gear. And now some people say, well, why are the JimSpiracy theorists so worried? Well, hell, first of all, let's look at CERN's logo. Have y'all seen this? Take a look at it. What do you see? Think quick. That's 666, man. Get the hell up out of here. Hey, take a look at this picture right here. Do you know what this is? This is their emblem. You know what that is? I believe that is the goddess Shiva. Am I right? That's the goddess Shiva at the entrance. And if I'm not mistaken, that is the god of destruction that they have guarding the entrance of the CERN building. Okay? Now, I know what y'all thinking. Y'all, oh yeah, y'all crazy. Yeah, that's just a JimSpiracy. Hey man, has anybody seen this video? Now, y'all gonna have to go back because this video's been a few years ago, probably 7, 8 years ago. But take a look at this. Look at these satanic yak creatures. Look at this. Look at this wedding ceremony. Look at these people taking off their clothes, stripping down, becoming all non-binary, all non-gender, all looking like they've had their souls ripped from their bodies. All of them wanting to wed the goat. All bowing down to time. Now, I do understand that people thought that this portal could open another universe. You know, the government said that this collider would create a big bang. Pow! Oh yeah, look at this, man. This is sick. See, they said if they created this, you know, if they could put those two atoms together and create a black hole, they think that this could make them God. See, they think that, you know, they're the GOAT. They're bowing down. And then we can celebrate and rejoice. Now, that's that right there, man. I didn't add that. Hey, that was all straight, no chase. You know, honestly, man, that thing happened and that's been all over the internet. And as you know, now I have a 16-year-old son. And my son, like a whole bunch of teenagers, was watching this CERN issue and he was concerned about it. And he actually came to me, like, asked me to explain it to him. And I guess it was just the fact that, you know, he couldn't conceive this whole idea of a portal opening up and a demon coming out and wreaking havoc upon the world, wreaking havoc on mankind. And so my son was like, you know, Pops, how could that happen? And so I broke it down. I tried to explain it to him the best way I could. I said, son, remember last 4th of July when your mom got drunk and she decided she wanted to fight everybody at the picnic? My son said, yeah, and we ran and hid up under the bed. I said, yes, son. I said, it's gonna be kind of like that. It's just not gonna be quite as bad, okay? Well, I could tell from the look on my son's face that he didn't appreciate my sense of humor. And I could tell that he was truly concerned. So actually I dug down deep and I just kept it real with him. I just told him straight out. I said, hey son, listen here. I know a lot of people is going around saying things. They going around telling you that they know what's about to happen. But the for real deal is, son, that God said that no man shall know the hour nor the day. So for real, bro, if all of these people are saying that they know, you know what that means? That means that they don't know. And the bottom line is they're just a man. They're not God. Bottom line, case closed. No matter how bad they want to be, they can't be. God's a G, you understand me? He's the number one, he's the big G, okay? And he's in control, son. You go ahead and get you some sleep, say your prayers, and I'll see you in the morning. I'll be back in a minute, man. Drop a little Bible story on you from JimSpiracy. I'll holla. Well, here's your favorite time of the show. This is that part where I break down and give you an interpretation of a Bible story. This story I'm going to tell you about today, I'm going to tell you the story about Jesus. We've all heard the story about Jesus when he cast the demons into the pigs. We heard about it. And if you haven't heard about it, go back and look at it for yourself. Don't listen to what I say. Don't listen to what somebody else says. Go back and look at it for yourself. And if you're one of those people that can't actually, you kind of remedial and you can't really read, go back and get it. Find something to read it to you. Believe me. Anyway, man, look, go back to Mark chapter 5 or go back to Matthew chapter 8. And it talks about Jesus walking into the Gergesenes region. And, you know, I told y'all before how when Jesus walked, you know, he was a rock star. You know, he had a big following. Okay, well, as Jesus was walking through town, it just so happened that two dudes that broke loose and escaped from a mental institution. Now, some of y'all say, well, how you know they escaped from a mental institution? Because the Bible said that the men were cutting themselves with stone and they had escaped from an institution. See, and these people, these two men, they ran up to Jesus and they had the demons in them. And when the demons saw Jesus, check this out. This is why I want to tell you the story. Because I thought it was very interesting that you running around here in somebody's life, but then all of a sudden you lay eyes on demon and you lay eyes on Jesus and you suddenly get you some act right. Okay, so look at the Bible and it says that when they saw Jesus, they immediately got worried. They like, hold up, Jesus, you ain't supposed to be here yet. You here to come in here and you ready to, because, you know, they know that Jesus said he was going to lock them into the pit of fire and he know he's going to inflict his judgment upon them. They're like, you ain't supposed to do it yet. And see, I think that's really important because even though they're demons, they recognize Jesus. They recognize his power. And they also immediately started trying to negotiate. Hold up, Jesus. Hold up. Because they knew Jesus was about to give them that work. Because what the deal was, the demons needed to be out of the men. Okay. The men's like, Jesus, help us. The demons is like, hey, look here, you going to kick us out. Look here, just put us in the pigs right there. Put us in the pigs, Jesus, and we'll be good. We ain't going to bother nobody, Jesus. Throw us in the pigs. No harm, no foul. And honestly, man, Jesus is, you know, he's a merciful. He looked at him. He's like, cool, no problem. Sent the spirits out of the men, straight into the pigs. And what happened? The pigs ran straight off the cliff and fell to their death into the water. See, to me, that goes to show that Jesus has a sense of humor. Because Jesus is like, they didn't see the end of they didn't see that mountain right there, but I gave them what they asked for. Now, this is the other part of the story that gets good. Because now Jesus has just performed this wonderful miracle. He just removed demons from two men. Okay. And now the shepherds of the hogs, and by the way, I think it was, they said that Jesus cast the demons into 2,000 heads of hogs, and they all ran off the cliff. Okay. So when word of this got back to the people, talking about this great act that Jesus did. You know how our people are, man. You know how we do. Don't matter what good you do, they only see the bad. Ain't nobody heard the fact that Jesus exorcised demons from men. The only thing my people heard was Jesus let 2,000 pieces of bacon fall on the ground. And if you read the Bible, you know, our people was going through some rough times back then. You had Pharaoh was making it hard to shop. Amazon wasn't around back then. So times was kind of hard. And for you to just up and just run 2,000 pieces of bacon off a mountain, our people wasn't too happy about that. Our people was not happy. They was not happy with Jesus choosing to throw demons into pigs. I'm gonna be honest with you, as far as my people are concerned, and I know what they're saying. I've read some of the lost scriptures. They have said, Father, why couldn't thou have sent the demons into the chupacabras? Why must thou mess up our pork chops, our hot dogs, our ribs, our pig feet? What are we supposed to eateth for breakfast now, Lord? And the Lord said, tofu. And black folks lost their mind. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have did that like that. Seriously, I've told y'all before, ain't nothing new under the sun. What you doing now done already been done, you know. And people talk about what's going on in the world today and why is the world in the situation that it's in. We blame drugs, we blame guns, we blame gangs, mental illness. And the fact of the matter is, right here is the root of the problem. Jesus told you what the problem was. The Bible told you what the problem was. The same problem then is the same problem now. People are possessed with demons. And if you don't have God in your life, if you don't have some form of Christ in your life, if he ain't there, what you got to kick the demons out? Huh? That's why they had to go to Jesus to ask to have the demons removed. Huh? That's my Bible story for today. You know the rules, man. May God watch between me and thee while we're absent, one from the other. Y'all be safe. I love y'all. Be back again. JimSpiracy.
Give them what they want, what they need, what they ask for. Give them what they want, what they need, what they ask for.
Yeah, are you not entertained? Ain't this what they tell you hustle for? I'm on my gladiator monologues, Russell Crowe. And honestly, I don't see what the fuss is for. You let your money blow and all we tryna do is sow it. Just so you know, this is Kingdom Biz. No Brooklyn Nets, I think we know who team this is. Come on, come all, and don't forget to bring the kids. And y'all gon' need a different planet just to dream this big. So bring your stacks to the table, and I'ma bring my faith. And at the end of the day, we gon' see who win in this race. And since God is the judge, he'll probably throw out my case. So do us a favor, get that look off your face. They be like, you spit that fire, got them industry raps. Why you doing that Christian rap? Nobody listen to that. Then I reply with a sigh like I'm missing the fact. I'm trying to spread this holy gospel till my Savior get back.
I'm going in one time, these record labels all in my face, trying to forfeit my race. But still I'm going in one time, no matter the opposition I face, staying true to my faith. I'm about to give them what they want, what they need, what they ask for. Give them what they want, what they need, what they ask for. Give them what they want, what they need, what they ask for. Give them what they want, what they need, what they ask for. Well, everything they offer, yeah, I'ma give it back. You can have it, crossing the world on my back, Mr. Atlas. I'm trying to get the people what they lacking. That's why I act a donkey on the track. Hit a passion, got something to say. You wanted to play, then come running my way and ruin G status is dead. No, ready to go, about to go in, you already know. Got my instructions, now give me your audience, hand me your mic and I'm ready to blow. One for the money, two for the show, three for everybody who encouraged me to go, get it. We finally did it, I ain't never turning back, shawty. I'm fully committed to my beliefs. I'm committed to the city, committed to to the streets, I'm committed till they get it. Now people calling my phone check, telling me to not hold back. Bring back that old set. Bet it up, I'm on that. I'm going in one time, these record labels all in my face, trying to flip in my race. But still I'm going in one time, no matter the opposition I face, staying true to my face.
I don't know much about Chupacabra, so I don't know. But like, I believe in other conspiracy theories.
Give me one of your favorites, real quick.
I believe that Megalodon is still alive. 60-foot shark that roamed the waters like.
The phrase Chupacabra actually means goat sucker. Matter of fact, I've called my ex-wife that a couple of times. Oh damn! Hold up. They done stole these things. Hey, where'd y'all get those? Come back here, sir. Come, hey, pull it. That it's part coyote, part Mexican wolf.
So it's just like a liger. The lion tiger.
You found me?
It's a lion tiger.
No. I thought. You said. He said liger. He said liger.
Pause.